Hi. So, you know, when you feel depressed, you often find that you just don't want to go out. You know, you just want to, I don't know, find a small dark space and crawl into it and never emerge. And going out, going places, doing things, interacting with people is something that you don't really want to do. But I think that there is a reason for that. Obviously there is a reason for that. Yes, I mean, okay, I'm about to talk about that reason. It's other people. It's them. In this country, and I'm sure it's the same in America as well, when you go outside, you go out, people that you encounter say, "Oh, how are you? How are you? How are you?" They don't say this because they want to know. They don't want to know. They don't actually give a damn, mostly, because, you know, I'll get to that in a minute. They just say that because, oh, that's the thing to say. You know, uniformity, remember? Right. If you then tell them that you feel really depressed and that you really can't be bothered to play the game anymore and that, you know, you just think life's a pile of shit, they look at you and you see their eyes go, and it's like something go, you know, and you have to give them a little push, and it's a bit like that, because what it really is, that is with soul people, is that your feeling shitty reminds them of when they feel shitty. And when they feel shitty, what they're told is that means you're a bad person. That means you're somehow lacking. You're somehow not good enough. Because if you were what you meant to be, what you ought to be, you would not be depressed. If you're depressed, that means there's something wrong with you, that you're defective and you're no good. So feelings of guilt and feelings of shame come up, very uncomfortable emotions. So when they say to you, "How are you?" and you honestly say, "Actually, I don't feel great, I feel quite depressed," they withdraw into themselves, literally, because they feel that shame and they feel that guilt. This is social conditioning, this is mind control and brainwashing, and it creates a society of people that don't know how to nurture themselves, and they don't know how to nurture other people. So everybody feels really isolated and really alone and really rejected, and that is why there's even more depression then, and even more suicides and things like that. I mean, for me, the reason that I'm depressed is because, you know, awakening can do that to you. You realize that life is not at all what you thought it was, and it's just a lot of it is just utterly meaningless, and you just don't want to do it anymore. And you know, and there's loads of reasons anyway, but you know, yeah, awakening is really the biggest part of it. But yeah, this is the truth, people, is that, you know, most people don't know how to be loving, don't know how to be nurturing, don't know how to be kind and accepting of others, you know, accepting as in, hey, I take you as you are, you're depressed, that's all right. Actually, it's perfectly natural to be depressed because, hey, look at the world, people, you know, it's really bloody awful. And it's perfectly normal and natural and organic to be depressed. So let's deal with that. But, you know, even when you're not of that mindset, even when you're of the mindset of, well, everything is just hunky-dory, but, oh, this person is mentally ill. Well, if somebody's mentally ill, is that their fault? Do you think they drank a bottle of Drano in an attempt to make themselves depressed because it's such fun? I mean, really, you know, what is that about? Get with it, people, you know, it's just like, I'm fed up with this, you know, how are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? And it's like, I'm not going to say I'm fine, you know, and this is, it's just an exercise in futility, you know. You go out and that is what you get. And if you say, look, this is how I feel, people like that. If you say I'm fine, you've let yourself down. You have, because it's bullshit. And why should you say that when you're not? You know, I might go out from now on and just pretend that I'm deaf and dumb and go, you know, and just do that, and just, or just look at people and like, maybe that will work. I don't know. I've got to go out and there's things I have to do, so I will do that. But no, I just wanted to say this, you know, it's something that we should all be aware of, you know, is how we treat not only ourselves but each other, and the way we treat ourselves, and the amount of brainwashing that we allow to gestate within our own consciousness, that tells us that being depressed or being upset or being ill or having been made redundant of a job or having whatever means that somehow you failed and you're bad and you're defective is fucking bullshit, and we should not bloody allow for that. It's not right. All this shame and all this guilt over all that stuff, that is just bullshit. And then because of that, when other people who are a bit perhaps like whatever, going through shit and who are a bit more honest and say, well, actually I feel like this or I feel like that and that's going on and that's going on, and then these people, you know, are there, or you're there or I'm there saying, oh, I don't really know how to deal with that because I feel guilt and I feel shame, and so I'm just gonna pretend that you didn't say that to me. And you know what I mean? This is how they condition society. This is how they bring about a society where people feel isolated, where people feel lonely, where people feel constant sense of rejection, you know, out in the cold by themselves. And this is more kind of magnified and amplified around Christmas time for some reason, you know. It's like, it's wrong, you know. First of all, people know that if you're sick, or if you're depressed, or both, or if you're poor, you've lost your job, or you've never been able to really, you're one of these so-called never-do-wells, which in my book probably means you're actually a person who's much more interesting, you know, or you've lost your job, you've been made redundant, or whatever is happening in your life that normally society tells you means that you're somehow defective, right? And that's causing you all this shame and all this guilt and all this which then goes into the subconscious if you're not with it and processing. Be aware of that and start being aware of these feelings. And this shit lives in our heads, you know. It's programming, it's brainwashing, and it's the picture of Dorian Gray, and it lives in your head and it tells you that this is how reality works. You've lost your job, you're defective. No, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not true. It's all a lie. It's lies upon lies upon lies and manipulation, people. And it makes you treat yourself like shit, and so you treat other people like shit as well. And you're helping thereby to create a society where everybody is eternally alone. How wonderful. You know, this is how we do their work for them. Do you get what I'm saying? We need to stop doing that. Nurture yourself. Know that whatever's transpired in your life has all happened for a reason, and there are many different reasons that you can examine at leisure. But let me tell you something, beating yourself up and shame and guilt and self-censorship and shoving it all down into the basement of your being, i.e. the subconscious, and then allowing yourself to be used subliminally to manifest the dark reality, the dark reset on a daily basis, all of that's got to stop. Come on. You know, it's not right. I say that a lot, don't I? You know. I've only just recently noticed it. You know. It's gotta stop. Do my best. You know, I think, you see, this is what I mean by habits. Saying you know is something obviously I have done without even knowing it for many, many years. Like this. Without knowing it, habitual. And all these mind parasites telling us all these lies are very habituated in there. Awareness shines a massive big cosmic torch onto that shit, and the minute you see it, you can start to do something about it. You see, now that is self-empowerment. That's what helping to create a better environment. You know, the dark side doesn't like that. And this proves to me that evil isn't all powerful, because if evil was all powerful, I would not be telling you this right now. You know what I'm saying? You know? Anyway, that's all for now, and I'm off now. I'm going to do this thing. I'm just going to stick my headphones on and listen to a bit of music and commune with nature. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah. Toodaloo.